Hello students, today we are going to discuss another important optoelectronic device, that is a photodiode and a phototransistor. Let us first start with a photodiode. As we've already done in the practicals, we know that photodiode works on the principle of photoelectric effect. Let me first brief you what photoelectric effect is. So photoelectric effect basically is a phenomenon in which electrically charged particles are released from or within a material when it absorbs electromagnetic radiation. What do you mean by electromagnetic radiation? Light, that is small packets of light. So let us first just look at the diagram over here. So suppose I have just shown that, assume that this is any single atom of a semiconductor. So what exactly happens in case of photoelectric effect? If light, so as shown by the number 1, when light is incident on this, what actually happens is it releases an electron from the atom. So on striking of photons, electrons from the materials are released. That is the reason, because these electrons are released on absorption of photons, we also call these electrons as photoelectrons. So basically, generation of or release of electrons leads to current. So we can say that photoelectric effect, it actually gives you current when light is absorbed. So now let us just see what exactly a photodiode is. So photodiode is basically a semiconductor device which converts light that is absorbed into current. It is also known as a photodetector, or it is also known as a photosensor. As we've just seen, the working principle, the operating principle is photoelectric effect. So this is the symbol of a photodiode. A photodiode is represented by a triangle. So this triangle means the anode or the positive terminal, and this straight line here indicates the cathode. The two inward arrows in the symbol indicate that light is being absorbed. This indicates that light is incident on the photodiode. This is how an actual photodiode looks. If you can see clearly in the diagram, you can see two small plates inside. As I had explained in the practical of LED, if anyone remembers, this larger area, the larger semiconductor material inside this is actually the negative terminal, that is cathode, and the smaller area has a longer lead and it is known as the anode. This is just a way to identify the photodiode. The longer lead is the positive and the shorter lead is the negative terminal. Operating principle of a photodiode is such that when the junction of this two terminal semiconductor device is illuminated, what is the meaning of illuminated? Light is incident. The electric current starts flowing through it. Now only the minority current flows through the device when certain reverse potential is applied, because you all know that photodiode always works in reverse bias. In the next slides, we'll see how exactly it works. What are the types of materials which are used in the construction of photodiode? So photodiode basically uses IBG, that is indirect bandgap semiconductors, in its construction. Some common examples are Si, that is silicon, Ge, that is germanium, InGaAs means indium, gallium and arsenide, that is an alloy of these three. One more material which is commonly used is indium arsenide antimonide, that is an alloy of indium, arsenic and antimony. So this is, a construction of a photodiode. Photodiode is basically a PN junction diode only. So in the diagram, you can see this P region and N region. P region means the anode and N region means the cathode. So what exactly this diagram, why exactly the diagram is shown here? Just to make you understand that in, the surrounding the PN region, because light is being incident on the material. So we have a layer wherein the light is incident, that is the P region, because this will accept the light. So what is done here is it has a coating of silicon oxide, that is nothing but glass, right? So that proper light is absorbed. If you see the N region, that is the cathode terminal, you just have a metal plate, because this is the portion which is opposite to light. This is the portion where light is being incident. So we need, glass layer so that light can enter the PN junction diode. The same thing is not required at the back end, and that is the reason the black colored shown here is the metal coating. The PN junction of the device is placed inside the glass material. This is done in order to allow the light energy to pass through it. Because if you cover it with metal, the light won't enter the PN junction and we will not get electron release. As only the junction is exposed to the radiation, the other portion of the glass material is painted black or is metallized. As I just explained, one end is having glass, the other end is having either a metal or the glass is painted black, because the light is incident only from one end. The overall unit is of very small dimension. You all have seen in practical that it is a very small, resembling an LED. So the overall dimension is around 2.5 mm. Now let us move on to the working of a photodiode. So photodiode, as I just said, is a PN junction. So in this diagram, I have shown a P-type material and an N-type material. As we all know that photodiode always works in reverse bias. What do you mean by reverse bias connection? The P-type terminal, the P-type material is connected to negative terminal of battery and the N-type material is connected to positive terminal of the battery. The layer, the PN junction, that is in between the depletion layer. Now what happens to the depletion layer if it is in reverse bias? The depletion layer is going to increase. So this increased depletion layer, what actually happens is photons are being incident on this depletion layer only. To increase the current in reverse bias, now actually what happens is, because of reverse bias connection, suppose I say this is reverse bias connection, these white color represent the holes. So what happens in this condition? Suppose assume there is no light. For an instance, just consider that there are no photons over here. You only have applied voltage. So what will happen because of this applied voltage? The negative terminal is connected to P-type. So all the holes will move like this. Similarly, all the electrons will move like this. So actually what happens is, suppose I consider one minority carrier. Suppose I consider this electron. So this electron is moving towards the junction but because it is a minority carrier, the current will be negligible. Now what happens is, on the N side there are many holes present. So before this electron crosses the depletion layer, it recombines with the hole. So as a result, no electron from the P side will come like this, will flow like this. So there will be no current. You can say negligible current. Actually, in a photodiode, what happens? Majority of the recombination will take place inside the depletion layer if photons are not present, right? There are carriers, there are electrons which are moving towards the junction, but they are very, very less. The external voltage we have applied, what will it do? It will only give energy to these minority carriers. It will only increase the energy of minority carriers. But this external voltage cannot increase the number of minority carriers. So how does that happen? Because if the number of minority carriers are not increased, current will not increase. Why? Because the recombination will take place here only, that is inside the depletion layer. So we will not get a closed circuit. Now just consider that photons are incident. A huge number of photons, that is a strong intensity of light, is focused or incident on a photodiode. So what will these photons do? There are atoms, the immobile. What does a depletion layer consist of? It consists of immobile atoms. So what will these photons do? It will release electrons from the immobile atoms. So now there are huge number of electrons. How will it release? It will break the covalent bonds. So there are more number of electrons generated inside the depletion layer, and these electrons will move and complete the circuit like this, and then only you will get current. Just see the energy band diagram that I have shown here. We have conduction. This is the N side and this is the P side. So this conduction has electrons, but the electrons are actually not moving. They are moving like this towards the battery. So what happens when a photon is incident over here? What does this photon do? It releases electrons. Now these electrons which are released will move towards the N side. See, the electrons are moving like this. They will recombine outside. They will just recombine outside the layer like this. So the recombination will take place like this, and that is why we get current. So we can say that because of photon, a hole is generated and an electron is generated. Why? Because of these photons, if electron moves, a hole is created. So that is known as a photo-generated hole. Where will this hole be present? It will be present in the valence band. And where will the electron go? It will move to the conduction band, indicating that conduction occurs only when light is absorbed. The applied, see, let us just again have a quick look at the working. The applied voltage supplies energy to the minority carriers, but it doesn't increase their number, as I just explained. The minority carriers generated due to the external voltage at the N side and P side recombine in the same material before they cross the junction, so no current flows. To increase the number of charge carriers, light is used as an external source. In the absence of light, the negligible current which we get is known as the dark current. Now, the reverse current in photodiode is independent of applied voltage. Rather, it depends only on the intensity of light. So, when light is incident on a photodiode, electron-hole pairs, commonly known as EHP, are created in the depletion layer. This increases the number of minority charge carriers, and now the recombination takes place outside the depletion layer, leading to a flow of current. And this current which is generated because of photons, because of absorption of light, is known as photocurrent. Let us see what are the characteristics of a photodiode. We've already drawn the characteristics in a graph while doing the practical. So this we have shown in the third quadrant because of the reverse bias characteristics. So you can see in the graph that there is no relation of current with voltage. What actually happens is, as you increase the value of light, you can say this I4 is the maximum current, I4 is greater than I3 is greater than I2 is greater than I1, when I1 represents the dark current. So if you keep on increasing the light, you see that photocurrent increases. So actually the photocurrent depends only on the light. It has no relation on the applied voltage. So here you see that this is the minimum amount of current, the negligible current, and this, as shown in the graph, is the maximum value. From the photodiode characteristics, it is seen clearly that the photocurrent is almost independent of applied voltage. For zero luminescence, the photocurrent is almost zero, except for some small dark current that is generally in nanoamperes, which is indicated in the graph as I1. And as the optical power, what do you mean by optical power? As the light increases, we can see that current is also increasing. What are the applications of a photodiode? It is generally used in smoke detectors, CD players, remote controls, and photosensors. Hope the topic is clear. Photodiode is a topic which can be asked as a short note of 7 marks. Now, recently a small topic was included in your syllabus, that is phototransistor. So a brief idea of what a phototransistor is and how is it better as compared to photodiode. I'll be separately sharing the notes of this topic, phototransistor. So phototransistor, because it is a transistor, you might have studied in basic electronics. So transistor is a device which has three terminals. They are commonly known as the base terminal, collector, and emitter. As shown in the diagram, you can see that I have not shown, the symbol does not contain the base line, because generally in case of a phototransistor, base is never connected. Only collector and emitter are the two terminals which are of importance. The inward arrow indicates that phototransistor will work when light is incident on it. These are some packages in which photodiodes are available in market. See, this has a three terminal. This is having three terminals, but the base will never be connected in the circuit. It's of no use. The phototransistor, the idea was first time proposed by William Shockley in the year 1951. So phototransistor is actually a device which will sense the light also, and it will alter the current between collector emitter with response to the light. Photodiode will only give you current. This will actually give you voltage and current both. Having the gain of a transistor, they are much more sensitive than photodiodes, right? Because what happens is current flowing between the collector and emitter changes, so the voltage also changes. So we get current and voltage both, whereas in a photodiode, we get only current. This is just a small, a small construction diagram that it has this P. I have in the diagram I have shown NPN junction, where this N and P comprise of the base, and this N indicates the collector. So this is the emitter junction, this is the base junction, and this is the collector junction. So N for emitter, P for base, and N for collector. And light is always incident on the base. So base is designed so as to accept light. A construction diagram in detail. So this is your N-type substrate, N-type substrate and P-type substrate. So it is an N, P and N transistor. This N has a metal contact. P is only the base. The purpose of having this P-N junction is to absorb light, and the another, that is a third layer connected to it, is acts as the collector. Acts as the collector, and it has again it is connected to a metal contact. And light rays are incident over here. So construction, the phototransistor has a much larger base and collector areas unlike the normal transistor. The base of the transistor is generally left disconnected as the light is used to enable the current flow through the phototransistor. So how basically it works? Whenever light is incident on this, you can see this PN junction. What will happen when light is incident on a PN junction? Near the junction, in the depletion layer, electrons will be released because of breaking of covalent bonds, and these electrons, that is, they will increase the collector current, and you will be getting a voltage across current and collector and emitter. So when light strikes the phototransistor, the free electrons of semiconductor generate the current that flows in the base region. Base is only used for biasing. Applied electric field causes the electrons to move into the emitter region, thereby generating large electric current. Let me just show you in this diagram. Light is incident here. Base and emitter is a PN junction. So this is used, the base is used as biasing only. It will release electrons, and where will these electrons flow? It will flow like this and like this. And you will be getting a voltage across collector and emitter. It can also control the amount of current according to the light, and accordingly the voltage is varied. And that is the reason it is comparatively more sensitive than a photodiode. See, the applied electric field causes the electrons to move into emitter region, thereby generating large electric current. As the intensity of light through the device increases, current through the device also increases. We can say that photocurrent mainly depends on illumination that is provided to the base. Getting it? So the additional third layer, it actually gives us the control part, which is not available in the photodiode. Some applications it is used in light controlling and detection both. Photodiode is only a detector, but this also controls because it actually has a current flow between collector and emitter. It is used in indication of levels and relays, counting systems, punch card readers, and it is also used in lasers for light sensing. So hope the topic is clear. Phototransistor is a small topic that can be asked as a 4 marks short note. For other queries, you can refer my notes on the blog. Thank you.